Growing up, life was full of surprises, but nothing could have prepared me for the day Karen, my dad's new wife, stole my hard-earned surgery money to attend a Beyonce concert. As I discovered the truth and confronted her, tensions rose and secrets were revealed. Here's how it all went down. One of the quirkiest things about me? My limp. It wasn't from birth, but from a slip-and-slide accident when I was 7. It's not like I couldn't walk or run, I just did it with a little added flair. Another surprise? Losing mom to cancer during my high school years? That sucked, big time. We were just finding our rhythm, navigating life without her, when another unexpected guest joined the party. Enter Karen. About a year after mom passed, Karen started showing up. Red lipstick that seemed too bright for any occasion, heels that made her wobble, and a perfume that could wake up the whole neighborhood. Before I knew it, she went from being the lady dad seeing to meet your new stepmom. Dad always did have a knack for spontaneity. Speaking of my limp, it had become a mission for me to get it fixed. Over the years, I'd stashed away cash from various odd jobs into a basic glass jar. That jar was more than just a container. It was my beacon of hope, the embodiment of countless hours flipping burgers, babysitting, and mowing lawns. Then Karen dropped a bomb. Out of the blue, she's flashing these Beyonce concert tickets. Considering we were more budget pizza than fancy steak dinners, those tickets raised an eyebrow. Dad was practically burning the midnight oil with his extra shifts, so splurging wasn't our thing. But the real shocker came one evening when I was about to drop my latest earnings into the jar. It felt oddly light. My heart did a mini sprint when I unscrewed the lid to find it barren. Empty. Nada. Zip. With a growing pit in my stomach, I thought about the swanky new earrings Karen had flaunted just days before. The pieces of the puzzle were beginning to fit, and the picture wasn't pretty. Ben had been my ride or die since we were trading crayons in kindergarten. So naturally, I vented to him about the empty jar. As we sat on his porch sipping sodas and swatting away the summer bugs, he gave me a side-eye. "You think it was Karen?" he asked, trying to sound casual, but the concern was evident. "Got this nagging gut feeling," I said, taking a sip, "but it's all in the air right now. No solid proof." A few nights later, the universe seemed to be playing in my favor. Ben and I were chilling in my room, gaming and munching on chips, when we heard soft murmurs from the living room. We muted the TV and tiptoed closer, pressing our ears against the slightly ajar door. It was Karen's voice, mixed with a familiar giggle, probably one of her close friends. Seriously, it was just sitting there. Karen's voice drifted in, dripping with mischief. "Took a bit from that surgery fund. Come on, it's Beyonce. Can you blame me?" Ben and I exchanged a look, the weight of realization heavy between us. There it was, the smoking gun. The evening was draped in an uncomfortable silence as I approached my dad, who was absorbed in his newspaper, his favorite after-dinner ritual. "Dad," I began, hesitating, "you know the money I was saving up for my surgery?" He peered at me over his glasses, a faint line forming between his brows. "Yeah, what about it?" "It's gone. I think Karen took it," I blurted out. His laughter filled the room, echoing the disbelief I feared. "Sweetie, why on earth would Karen take your money? She's family now." "Well," I stammered, "remember those super expensive Beyonce tickets she suddenly had? And all the new stuff she's been flaunting?" Dad set his newspaper down, adjusting his posture to face me. "Look, Karen's always had a taste for the finer things. It doesn't mean she took your money." I took a deep breath, searching for the right words. "Dad, I overheard her talking to a friend. She basically admitted to using the surgery money for her splurges." Ben, who had been listening from the doorway, stepped in to back me up. "Mr. Jackson, I was there too. We both heard her." Dad looked from me to Ben and back, his face a whirlwind of emotions. Disbelief, anger, confusion. "I need time to think about this," he murmured, retreating to his room. The house was on pins and needles for the next couple of days. Then, on a particularly chilly evening, I overheard another heated exchange from the living room. "Karen, did you take the money?" Dad's voice was strained, barely above a whisper. "It's not like she was going to get the surgery tomorrow. We could have refilled the jar," she spat back, her voice oozing with justification. "That was her dream, Karen, our dream, and you just stole it?" His voice cracked with emotion. Silence. The next morning, Karen was gone. No note, no explanation. Dad looked aged overnight, but there was a fire in his eyes I hadn't seen in a while. The following days were a blur. Dad took on even more hours, if that was even possible. One night, over a simple dinner, he looked at me, his gaze steady. "We'll get that money back, and you'll have your surgery." The whole Karen saga? Man, that was a curveball. But you know what they say about tough times bringing out the best in people? In our case, it brought out the best in our bond. It wasn't about having this picture-perfect family. It was about rolling with the punches, standing together even when the going got rough. Every time Dad pulled an extra shift or came home with that tired smile of his, dropping a few extra bills into the jar, it was like a high-five moment between us. Sure, we didn't have VIP concert experiences or fancy threads, but what we had was way cooler. We had grit, a never-give-up attitude, and a whole lot of love. And guess what? With time, patience, and Dad's relentless hustle, that jar filled up again. I finally got that surgery, thanks to our team effort. Looking back, the real win wasn't just fixing my limp, it was realizing what we were capable of when we had each other's backs. And honestly, that was the best kind of win. Don't buy it if you can't afford it. Your wants should match your financial capability. It's important to prioritize your needs and make responsible financial decisions. I never could have imagined the depths of darkness that would be unleashed when my sister-in-law uttered those fateful words at our family dinner. Little did I know that her innocent request to spend time with my baby would spiral into a nightmarish battle for custody, tearing our family apart. Here's how it all went down. At 36, I kind of felt like I'd won life's lottery. Married to a solid guy for over a decade, blessed with 3 wild kids, Emily, the 10-year-old drama queen, Jake, my 8-year-old soccer champ, and our latest bundle of chaos, Lily, just 3 months old. But man, every family's got its drama, right? Enter stage left, my sister-in-law, Lisa. For more than 10 years, our relationship was a mixtape of cold shoulders and passive-aggressive jabs. Was it jealousy? Perhaps. Not over her bro, my husband, but over the Leave It to Beaver life we'd built. Lisa had her own fairy tale beginning last year when she got hitched, but life threw her a curveball. She couldn't have kids. Everyone did their bit, the awkward hugs, the supportive messages. But nothing prepared us for the bomb she dropped during our Sunday dinner roast. Between bites of pizza and playful nudges, with our kids' laughter echoing in the background, Lisa dropped the bomb. Angel, she started, voice tinged with emotion and her eyes glassy. Look, you've always been like this golden child. 3 beautiful kids, a rock star husband, and here I am, trying to dodge life's curveballs. So hear me out. She took a deep breath, her voice shaking. What if I take Lily during the week? It's my shot at this mom thing. You can have her on weekends. I nearly choked on my slice. Jake, with a fry halfway to his mouth, just froze, eyes wide. Emily gasped. Aunt Lisa, what do you mean? The room's jovial mood turned ice cold, like someone had yanked the plug on our family jam session. Her proposition, wilder than any reality show twist, had us scrambling. Before I could form a coherent response, Dad interjected with disbelief. Lisa, are you out of your mind? Mom added. You can't be serious. Emily and Jake, clearly shaken, looked to me for guidance. Hey, let's take a break, kiddos, I whispered, guiding them upstairs, away from the brewing storm. When I got back, Mike, Lisa's husband, was going off. Lisa, what the hell? He spat out, clearly blindsided. She tried to explain herself, tears streaming down. Taking a deep breath, I said, Look, you both need to go. My voice was shaky but stern. Lisa, until you figure things out, you can't be around my kids. I wasn't ready for her next move. She screamed at me, You don't get it, Angel. You took everything from me. Mike and my mother-in-law were trying to calm her down. It was a mess. My husband, looking as lost as I felt, jumped in. Lisa, this isn't the way. You can't blame others for your pain. Emily and Jake, scared by the loud voices, peeked down from upstairs. Emily's soft voice asked, Mom, what's wrong with Aunt Lisa? I pulled them close. Sometimes adults get upset and say weird stuff, I said, trying to simplify the mess. My brother-in-law Jack and my mother-in-law seemed as shell-shocked as I was. They kept apologizing profusely, both of them attempting to steer a now hysterical Lisa towards the front door. Their exit was marked by her sobbing and desperate cries echoing in the quiet night. Later, as I was tucking in Emily and Jake, they hesitated before asking, Mom, why does Aunt Lisa want to take Lily away from us? I sighed, choosing my words carefully. Aunt Lisa is going through a difficult time, sweethearts. Sometimes when people are very, very sad, they say things they don't truly mean. Don't worry, Lily isn't going anywhere. Unfortunately, the events that transpired didn't end that evening. A few days later, Jack told us that Lisa ended up in a psychiatric facility. The whole thing hit her harder than anyone expected. The pain of not being able to have kids. Before the dinner incident, Jack had been looking into counseling for them to deal with the grief and emotions that come with infertility. But after seeing how she was behaving, he thought it was better to get her professional help. He didn't go into too much detail when he told me. All I knew was that during their first session, Lisa shared some things that worried the psychiatrist. They thought she might be a danger, especially to Lily and me. So they put her on involuntary hold. Since then, Jack has been amazing. He's been keeping Lisa away from our home, hoping that some space will help her find some clarity and healing. My mother-in-law even moved in with them temporarily to keep an eye on things. And thank goodness she did, because one night, she caught Lisa trying to sneak out, probably with the intention of seeing her baby. If that wasn't creepy enough, Jack caught Lisa researching ways to start producing breast milk. When he confronted her, her response gave him the chills. She claimed it was so she could properly feed the baby once I came to my senses and handed her over. All this messed with my head big time. I just hoped and prayed that Lisa would get the help she so desperately needed, not only for her own sake, but for the sake of our family's sanity and peace. The reasons behind Lisa's breakdown became clearer when Jack shared another heartbreaking detail with me. Apparently, seeing me breastfeeding Lily had triggered something deep inside Lisa. It wasn't just a natural act to her, it represented something much more profound. She was holding Lily when the baby got fussy and hungry. As I took Lily to feed her, Lisa's eyes filled with a deep sorrow. That one moment unleashed a floodgate of her suppressed emotions and insecurities, leading to her devastating outburst. Jack's revelation got me thinking about the advice and suggestions I received from close friends and acquaintances after sharing the story. Their responses were mostly supportive and understanding, which brought some comfort. Relocating our family wasn't an option, but we made sure to beef up security measures at home and wherever our kids spent time to ensure their safety. For my husband and me, our top priority has been protecting our family and making sure our children are safe, both physically and emotionally. We've had age-appropriate conversations with Emily and Jake, helping them understand to some extent why our family is going through such a tough time. This whole ordeal has left us with a mix of emotions, worrying about Lisa, making sure the kids are okay, and trying to find our own balance in the chaos. But through it all, our family has shown strength and unity. My in-laws have been amazing, devoting their time to help Lisa recover. Jack has been truly remorseful and proactive in getting Lisa the help she needs. If you or someone you know is dealing with mental health problems, I strongly encourage seeking professional help immediately. Remember, family members should also be vigilant and supportive during these challenging times. I never expected a simple lie about my past to spiral into a whirlwind of chaos and danger. It started with a number, a harmless white lie to protect my insecurities. Little did I know it would lead to shattered trust, name-calling, and a string of alarming events. Here's how it all went down. I'm not proud of it, but here's the thing. About 3 years ago, when I was 20, I started seeing this really incredible guy, Alex. I still remember our first date, laughing over spilled coffee, sharing our dreams, and those silly, awkward silences that made both of us blush. It all seemed perfect. Until one night, lying in bed together, we started talking about our exes. Alex, a bit unsure, asked about our past partners, a topic that always made me anxious. I've always felt a bit insecure about my past, not because I regretted anything, but because I knew society had different standards for women. I don't know why, but in the heat of the moment, fear got to me. What if he saw me differently? What if he thought less of me? So I did something crazy. I lied. I told him my number was lower than it actually was. I convinced myself it was a harmless lie just to protect us. Now, fast forward to the other night. We're out with friends having dinner, and the topic of past partners comes up. My heart starts racing. I feel like a kid caught with her hand in the cookie jar. As everyone is laughing and sharing their stories, I can't help but steal glances at Alex, knowing I have to come clean. Back home, away from the clamor, I pulled him aside, my voice shaky. "Alex," I began, "I need to tell you something." He looked at me, brows furrowed. "What's up?" I took a deep breath. That night we talked about our pasts. I wasn't honest. I was scared of being judged, and I lied. Alex's face was drained of color. "You lied!" My eyes welled up. "I'm so sorry, Alex. It was wrong." He looked away, his voice rising. "Trust, honesty, isn't that what this is all about? And you lied about something so personal." And then he said something I never imagined I'd hear from him. "You're just a liar." My heart shattered. I wanted to explain, to make him see my fears, but words escaped me. The next day, I chatted with a few friends about it. Opinions were split. Some said I messed up big time, while others tried to console me, saying it was a white lie and Alex should understand my apprehensions. It's been a rough few days. Alex has been distant. This morning, he admitted he's struggling with trust. And then an hour ago, a text pinged on my phone. It was from him, saying he's staying with his mom for a bit. I'm devastated. Did I just ruin the best thing that ever happened to me? Am I a jerk for lying about my past? It's crazy how a single number can change everything, right? The number I'm talking about is the amount of people I've been with. For me, that number is 5, including Alex. But under pressure, I told him it was 3. And yeah, that might seem like an inconsequential lie. Just a number, right? But here's why I did it. We sat together on the couch, the atmosphere between us soft and open, seemingly perfect for a heart-to-heart. "You know," he began, the tone of his voice changing to one that was a bit heavier. "My sister recently told me about her history." "Oh?" I replied, unsure of where this was going. He nodded, taking a moment before he continued. "Yeah, her number's 6. I frowned, processing the information. Why's she sharing that with you? He shrugged, seemingly dismissive of my confusion. We talk about a lot of stuff. I wasn't thrilled hearing it, though. Then his gaze shifted to me, his eyes searching mine with an intensity that felt misplaced. With a half smirk, he added, "Yours better not be that high." The statement took me aback. Why was he bringing this up now and in this way? Moreover, why did he care about his sister's number? The whole conversation felt out of place. Feeling a lump in my throat, I was suddenly on edge. It was clear that this topic, for whatever reason, held weight for him. The desire to maintain peace between us battled with my need to be authentic. "It's 3, I said hesitantly, choosing a figure that I believed might sidestep any potential conflict. He nodded, seemingly satisfied with my response. But in my heart, a weight of unease settled. Not just because of my lie, but because of the conversation's implications. Now, here's where things get even more confusing. We've been texting, trying to hash this out, and he confessed something that left me reeling. It's not just the lie that bothers him, he's actually upset that my number is 5. According to him, 4 was his limit, which, honestly, seems a bit hypocritical, given his number is higher than mine. I never made a fuss about his past. In fact, I didn't even want to know. And about the name-calling, it's not the first time. Over things you wouldn't believe. I've chosen to look past them because I've always been the type to avoid confrontations. A bit of an echo from my childhood. Parents can be tough critics. Before all this drama started, I genuinely thought Alex was different, but my friends pointed out things that I'd been blind to. Yeah, I messed up by lying, but let me tell you, his reaction was like a mirror, showing me parts of him I'd ignored or never noticed before. See, growing up, my parents never held back from throwing names at me if I stepped out of line, so I learned how to please others, how to shape myself into what they wanted. But let me tell you, it's a double-edged sword. It made me an easy target for people like Alex. Here's the thing about Alex. He's got this way of acting that's all over the place. One moment he's all sweet, complimenting my eyes and stuff. And then, out of nowhere, he'll start going on about how my eyelashes are too short. It's like eating a delicious cupcake and then getting hit with a weird aftertaste. The other day after our talk, he decided to make his exit with one final zinger. Ouch. I mean, sure, I messed up by fibbing about my past and I won't do it again. But his reaction? Way overboard. Then just as I'm trying to process everything, guess who pops back up? Alex. And he's doing that thing he does. Gifts, apologies, the works. It's like he's got this switch that goes from cold and distant to super apologetic boyfriend. It reminds me of those old dance moves where you're pulled in and pushed away. And honestly, I'm tired of dancing. Deep down, I know I've been in this same old cycle, always trying to keep things chill and avoid conflict. But this whole mess has taught me something. I don't have to keep playing the same game. It's time to switch things up and find a groove that suits me better. Now, he's hoping for another shot, but I've seen the truth. I don't want to be with him anymore. But there's that nagging urge to please and the fear of hurting him. But you know what? It's time to prioritize myself. In the midst of all this chaos, it feels like I'm stuck in some crazy movie plot. I can't help but wonder if anyone else has ever been through such a tangled mess. I mean, seriously? All this drama over a stupid number? So, it's been about a week now, and I've been crashing at my friend's place. It's like a safe haven in the middle of this crazy storm. Let me tell you about this surreal encounter I had with Alex yesterday. As my friend was heading to the door, Alex suddenly switched from being aggressive to acting all sad, as if he was just there for a quick errand and not our big confrontation. I quickly messaged my friend telling her to come in right away and avoid getting involved. As she cracked open the door, Alex saw an opportunity and tried to sneak past her. But my friend, being super vigilant, grabbed onto his hood and calmly but firmly told him, "You've got 2 options, Alex. Leave willingly or deal with the authorities." He grudgingly backed off. But before he left, he said something really unsettling. "I saw your post." That's when it hit me that he might be talking about my online confessions, not just my lack of social media activity. Right now, my main focus is my safety. I'm in the process of getting a temporary protective order, and we're also arranging to change the locks at my place. Another trusted friend is helping me out with that, and will grab some essential items for me. Honestly, the thought of going back home right now is pretty overwhelming. My emotions are all over the place. I feel heartbroken from everything that has happened. But at the same time, I'm incredibly thankful for the amazing support and wisdom I've received from my family and friends. It has given me the clarity and strength I needed to prioritize my well-being. I really hope that this is the end of all the drama. I have therapy sessions coming up which I hope will help me recover. Fingers crossed that things start looking up soon. Remember that a person who truly loves you won't care about your past. They will accept and cherish you for who you are in the present. Keep that in mind and take care of yourself. If you enjoyed today's stories, check out the other videos on your screen now. Submit your own stories at you'rethejerk.com. Subscribe now or you're definitely the jerk.